Crypto regulation in America is off to a rough start this week. This was supposed to be crypto week where everything gets pushed through and passed. The crypto industry was ready to pop champagne and celebrate, but there has been some roadblocks put in the way. We're going to talk about everything that you need to know today, Wednesday, July 16th. This will be a complete update. This video will come out first thing tomorrow. Understand that the news is moving so quickly. I recorded a version of this video earlier today about all this that I had to scrap and start over. So here you go. I'm recording this at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Hawaii time, which is 10 o'clock there in the East Coast. So I think everything is said and done for today. This will get you up to date. But here is earlier today with the motion to push this through to vote on these bills.
On this vote, the yeas are 215 and the nays are 211. The motion is adopted.
So that was great news. A lot of people were celebrating and having a party and popping that champagne, but it was a little bit too early. Here is an update from CNBC.
Crypto regulation bill, and it is boosting crypto prices along with some related names like Strategy. Let's get to Emily Wilkins this morning from DC after a brief moment there, Emily, where people were questioning the speaker's hold on some of those hardliners.
Carl, it was a very dramatic couple hours yesterday. As you remember, about a dozen Republicans blocked a vote to advance to voting on the crypto bills. But there was a late night meeting last night at the White House. Trump tweeted out that the members are now on board and the House is preparing to move forward today. And so here's what we're going to see. Over the next 2 days, the House is set to pass 3 major bills that the crypto industry has been asking for. One deals with regulations on stablecoins. That's the Genius Act we've been talking about. The other is a bill called Clarity. Now, that's a market structure bill, and it defines the market for digital assets, when they're a security, when they're going to be a commodity. And then you've got a final bill that would ban the creation of a central bank digital currency, a CBDC. Now, a redo of yesterday's procedural vote to advance to all 3 that's coming up here a little after.
Okay, so we got that update earlier, and then Eleanor Terrett put this out July 16th at 10:40 this morning. So it looks like 12 Republicans who voted no yesterday flipped to yes after the meeting with Donald Trump last night, did so on the promise that anti-CBDC language would be added to the Clarity Act since Genius isn't open for amendment. So what's stopping these people from pushing this over the line? It looks like some people in the Republican Party want more protections for an anti-CBDC language in some of these bills. This afternoon, several of those members huddled on the floor with Clarity authors, Representative French Hill, Representative Byron Steele, and Congressman Glenn Thompson, who apparently weren't part of the White House discussion last night. The authors and a handful of other financial committee members have made it clear that they believe adding anti-CBDC provisions to Clarity or combining the 2 bills could jeopardize the bipartisan market structure legislation they spent months crafting. So in the Senate, you had, I think it was 17 Democrats crossing the aisle to vote to push this through. Now that it's gotten to the House, there are some hardline Republicans that want more things added to these bills. And if those things are added, it sounds like the bipartisanship could be falling apart. A Rules Committee meeting and an anti-CBDC language to the Clarity was originally scheduled for 4 p.m., but it's unclear if that will happen. One of the Republican holdouts, Chip Roy, who just voted no again, told Punchbowl News that the agreement which has been in place doesn't seem to exist anymore. It's unclear what he was referring to. The deal was struck at the White House last night. Meanwhile, Punchbowl is also reporting that GOP leaders are now pushing to include anti-CBDC language in the defense spending bill. Man, these guys don't know what's going on here. And so there was another vote that just happened. One of the members switched their vote from yes to no, bringing the total of 10 House Republicans who opposed the crypto bills. So 10 Republicans are now holding all of this back. Now, also, there is 211 Democrats voting no, but they're voting no because they probably didn't get a say, and they, I think, are on the side of CBDCs. But that is still a little bit unclear. There's not a whole lot of things being said right now from the Democratic side on these things. So it's really hard for me to tell you what's on these people's minds. I did watch this clip and I see a lot of people sharing this clip, and this clip it shocked me to the bone. And it's not surprising. Listen carefully towards the end of this clip, around 1 minute 30. He's going to, Tim Burchett is going to tell you what's going on with the crypto bills, but he's also going to admit something that is going to, it freaking shocked me the first time I heard it.
Hey everybody, Tim Burchett, just leaving the House floor. Hey, Maxine Waters. Woo! Anyway, they're leaving the House floor after some votes. It's dealing with this crypto bill. There's a lot of procedural maneuvering back and forth. And last night there was a meeting of the group that voted against the rule, which would stop the bill but doesn't kill it. And then they were called over. And then the president found out they're over there and said, come over to the Oval Office. Was part of that group, but I had my teletown hall last night, so it was during all that was going on. So I couldn't get out. I couldn't change that. But anyway, so it's back on today. There's some concerns, and they're talking about now moving it to a defense bill, the amendment they need on this thing, because if they adjust this, they kill the bill, and if it goes back to the Senate. And so they're thinking about trying to make some changes later, and we will just see how that works out. I don't know. It's a complicated situation, and I'm hoping that we get it resolved.
Okay, listen to this part because it's extremely important.
But until we get some clarity on it, what exactly we're doing, and that's always scares me about anything with crypto especially, is that a group of people like myself who do not understand it, and we start meddling with it, and then we mess up the whole deal.
You heard it right. If you missed it, let you hear this again. Okay, be very clear about what he's saying about crypto. He doesn't understand it. And there's a lot of people in Congress that are like him that don't have any clue what this technology does and why it's important.
That we get it resolved. But until we get some clarity on it, what exactly we're doing, and that's always scares me about anything with crypto especially, is that a group of people like myself who do not understand it, and we start meddling with it, and then we mess up the whole deal. I think our goal is to make us the strongest cryptocurrency country in the world, and I dig that, but let's get it right the first time. Go a little slower, get there a little faster.
Getting it right the first time means that you understand what you're voting for, right? Why aren't people spending time to understand what they're voting yes or no for? Why this is important to the American people and the global, like why is every country moving to blockchain, right? Isn't this something that, hey, maybe we should understand? That's what frustrates me. What are these people doing with their time if they can't understand what they're voting yes or no for? Woosah. All right. Eleanor Tarrant says, according to two sources familiar with the matter, banking GOP is pumping the brakes on releasing its market structure discussion draft, which has been slated for tomorrow. I'm told the thinking is to wait and see what happens in the House, then revisit the rollout once there's more clarity. Okay, Eleanor Tarrant again. Man, I couldn't put this video together without Eleanor Tarrant, so please make sure you're following her. Just ask the GOP Senate staffer what the vibe is over there as the House drama unfolds. We're just hoping the House can move something, anything, so crypto legislation can survive to the next step. We have options to move forward, but nobody wants another failed vote. That kills momentum. Now, President Trump has said how important crypto is to his supporters as well as to the American people. He wants to get this across the finish line. It is a signature piece of his promise when he was running for president. Also, what's really important here is the U.S. needs a new buyer of U.S. debt. If you don't have stablecoin legislation, you won't get this big stablecoin boom in the United States. They need a new buyer of U.S. debt. China's not interested. Japan's not interested. The UK's not interested anymore. So who the hell's going to buy our debt? Stablecoin issuers. They need that to back up the stablecoin. So this is vital to national security in the United States. All right, here is another update. No more votes tonight per an email from the majority whip, Tom Emmer. For those who have tuned in the Republican House Floor live stream, you can see that 9 Republicans have voted no. 3 members have yet to cast their votes. It's unclear what the next steps are. And the email says members are advised no additional votes are expected in the House this evening. Please stay tuned for future updates. So if you don't know what the majority whip does, is their job is to whip the votes, get the votes in line to get this legislation either passed or whip the votes to get this legislation failed. That's what Tom Emmer's sole job is as the majority whip in Congress. And so he is trying to get these people to obviously vote yes. They put so much time and hard work into this. It just kills all the forward momentum that we have. So what else do we know here? So the Genius Act, right, regulates stablecoins by providing a federal framework for issuance and oversight, has already passed the Senate, is awaiting the action in the House, seen as legislative centerpiece for bringing stablecoins under clear regulation. The Clarity Act seeks to define the regulatory structure of all digital assets, clarifying which they fall under either the SEC or the CFTC jurisdiction. It aims to resolve long-standing questions about crypto oversights crucial to market participants and investors, and the Anti-CBDC Surveillance Act prohibits the Federal Reserve from creating a central bank digital currency, citing concerns over privacy and government overreach. And so, listen, I don't know what's going to happen. By the time you see this video tomorrow morning, we could have this all worked out. So please take that into advisement and understand that I've tried to make this video now 3 times today. I've had to remake it and remake it and remake it because the updates have been so crazy. I do think this is going to get pushed through. I think the last remaining holdouts will start getting pressure again from the Trump administration to fall in line. And maybe they're going to get what they want here. But this is what happens when you have a smaller group of people, either on the Democratic side or Republican side, that stick together when they're voting. They have a lot of power and a lot of control, and they are using that power to get whatever they want. I'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. Please seek financial advice if you need it. Let's get back to the video.